A little dicey as the game continued to wear on, but with all the Knicks turnovers, man, especially with OG, just allowing the Kings to stay in it, man. But Mike Brown going to different situations. I liked how we had Mitchell Robinson closing out most of the fourth quarter, you know, to get that defensive stops that you needed. Thought Mikal Bridges had a solid game, and you had Jalen Brunson doing Jalen Brunson things, giving the captain clutch moments to close this thing out. But all in all, decent win for the Knicks. Just got to work on the turnovers, man. It's just ugly, just awful.
Yeah,
What
I
happened to the
mean,
team that protected the Rock?
yeah, and that's the thing, and it's like this was just sloppy turnovers. I mean, OG just handing them the ball twice, stepping on the end line. The turnovers, they weren't even in any sort of action. They were just here, sloppy, in
Awful.
traffic. Here you go.
What do you have? Seven?
Seven, seven, seven turnovers for OG, man.
That's the biggest thing, man. I mean, I get that you had two nights off worth of rest, but you should come out here, especially when this team gave you the business when you were out there on that West Coast trip. You should have been ready, came correct for this one, showed them. I mean, they ultimately got the win, so you can't go too far down the rabbit hole
Yeah,
and saying, "Oh, they could have done this, they could have done that." But definitely the turnovers, man, because they just been way too. I don't know.
careless,
Would you
bro.
say that? Is it careless, or would you say it's a blend of being too aggressive and careless?
Nah,
But
well, aggressive in what way? In what way? How would you say aggressive?
because I think sometimes the turnovers are like trying to drive, kick out to the perimeter, and then somebody's right there, like trying to make that extra pass off of an action, and then other times it's just stupidity.
Yeah, yeah, I do think it could be a mix of that. Definitely more the latter, because I don't know, man. Like it just didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why this team? And by the way, before you came in, I said this is one of those nights. You know those nights we have those games during the season where they win the game, but you talk about it as if they lost because there was
Yes.
there was so much more negative than there was positive. Even though the grand positive was that they won. But it was brutal. I was waiting for them to completely let it go, and DeRozan
Dude,
just
that's how
dropped
I
like
felt,
50.
man. I felt like this team was going to let go of the rope. I was like, you are just playing with fire, allowing this team to stay in it, man. And it's just buffoonery, man, on too many parts. I mean, OG took the cake. I mean, you had Cat who was up and down throughout this matchup as well. Though you had a really good efficient game from Bridges. Josh Hart had some costly turnovers as well. The travel, trying to do the jump passing, and there's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with a
what
jump
was
pass.
that?
I have no
you
idea,
you got caught in the up and down in the backcourt. That was crazy.
dude. It's like trying to make a pass to who? Like, who are you looking at? That's the thing. I feel like he tries too hard without even looking at times. So it's like, who are you going to pass that rock to, man? Who
Yeah,
who? And like, it's probably like on the scouting report at this point. Like, Josh Hart will make a jump pass. Be ready, you know.
yeah,
But they even get like McBride getting caught in like DeRozan's like pump fakes, man. Like the mid range assassin doing mid range assassin things. And how many times did you see like Deuce be like fall for that one? You know?
yeah, yeah. And DeRozan had his way. Give him credit. He was great again tonight. He's an ageless one, man. Like you don't even know how old he is when you watch him operate because his game has never changed. His game is aged super well, man. He's 36 years old and he's still got the footwork like he was 26, still getting into the mid-range effortlessly. That never looks like he's busting a sweat out there. Just get to his spot, rise and fire right over you. Perfect.
Can't shoot a three to save his life,
Can't
but
shoot
yeah,
a three, but he did catch OG with one though. He did step
he
into one
did.
over the dog.
He did 1 for 7. He got one.
Yeah, he did. And but you say that, and I'm just like, okay, if that's the case, why weren't they more aggressive with this guy, especially in the second half? Test the Kings from three. Let him give it to Brody. Yeah, all right, Brody hit one or two. How many did Brody hit? A couple, nothing crazy to kill you. But I thought with Brown, they didn't really make that adjustment in the second half under Rosen, and they didn't really get aggressive with him. I was pretty surprised there.
No, for this team, you have to just wall off the mid range of the paint, and they didn't do that at all. This is like one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league, CP. I'm refreshing the NBA.com to see where we're at with The Kings for a 3-point percentage. Where are they? They're 18th right now, shooting 35% from downtown, but they only attempt 33 per game. Like they're not even up there in attempts. They're in the basement. They're dead last. Let me be clear. They are dead last in attempts. 19th for percentage, dead last in attempts. They don't want to shoot the three. They don't got guys who can't shoot the three.
Right.
Sabonis can't shoot the three. Westbrook can't shoot the three. DeRozan can't shoot the three. When you do not have Zach LaVine out there, that is a green light to say wall off the paint. Let him figure it out from downtown. Game could have probably been in a little bit of better standing if they did just that.
How about Captain Clutch Jalen Brunson, man? 28 points, our player of the game. 9 of 17 from the field, 4 of 8 from downtown. Came in the fourth quarter, about 6 minutes left, and scored 11 of his 28 points, including 6 straight Knicks buckets. Your thoughts on Cap tonight, man? What'd you think about Cap tonight?
You know, it was a good game from Brunson. I wouldn't say it was like one of his greatest performances, but
Yeah.
definitely a good game. Good to see him just knocking down shots from three. I thought in that fourth quarter, man, that running three that he had was just really the thing that set it off for him just to get that thing rolling for the team in the fourth quarter. But just the way he closed the game, because I didn't think he had like a great game either. He
Me
was
neither.
tripping over himself, trying to find guys on the court. Like he played a pretty sloppy game too. Like if you didn't watch his game tonight, you look at this box score and say, "Hey, fantastic game from Jalen Brunson." As always, he's capable of getting his numbers, no question about it. But I thought he could have had a much more cleaner game tonight. But you know what? He showed up when it mattered most in that fourth quarter. And when you look at that, you're like, this is why you call him Captain Clutch. This is why you give him the ball in that fourth, and he delivers. And this is why he's one of the clutch players in the NBA. But I thought he could have had a better game tonight, man. Hopefully he cleans it up for tomorrow. Like I said, I don't know if this is from like extended rest, but
Yeah.
the tripping over yourself is not a good look, man.
Yeah, he was kind of stumbling around. I also thought he didn't get them in their offense quick enough. Though part of the reason the offense is kind of stuck in the mud, especially in the first half, I didn't think he was particularly snappy in terms of his decision making. Kings would put 2 on the ball, and Knicks really didn't. They did. There's no pep. There's no pep in the step. Mikal had it. He was mad. He played with a passion. He played with an energy that
Thank
said,
God.
"Hey, I didn't come through for my team against Philly. That's my home, Nova Nick, and all of that. I didn't live up to my Nova Nick name." So he came out. He came out firing, man. What'd you think about Mikal's game tonight?
I thought he was great, man. I thought for or not like defensively, like he was okay. I thought he
Yeah.
could still be a little bit better and just being quicker, being more aggressive in his assignments. But I thought for tonight, offensively, it's the Mikal that we saw at the beginning of the season. I mean, the efficient 8 of 13 from the field, get to 18 points. What I really liked was the playmaking from Mikal, and then it got back on track. I mean, how about the play where he's just diving down the paint and he find OG in the right corner for him to knock down the three? That's the stuff that you want to see from Mikal. And then he
Yeah.
was just out there on leaks. How about that alley that Josh had to him out in transition, man? Like he's doing all the things that you want to see from him off ball. The thing on ball that you want to see though is like him being more of the initiator. I still think he could do a little bit more of that, just working through contact even better. But all in all, for a guy that was a no-show against Philadelphia, I did like the way that he played tonight offensively. Now, Kings, like I said, he didn't really, take on the DeRozan assignment like that. So,
No.
but I need him to be better defensively. CP, we know what he can be offensively. He's got to be aggressive defensively. You're brought in here to be a two-way player. We can't just rely on you to be one way of the ball. But nevertheless, good offensive game. Defense still has to improve.
Defense still has to improve. Mikal Bridges, once again, one of our role players of the game tonight. 18 points. Mikal came out firing early, got into a streak, and finished the game 8 of 13 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown, with 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal. Now, another player that I liked tonight, and it was very few, but Mitchie back at it, man. 7 points, 13 rebounds tonight, Al. 6 on the offensive side, along with 2 steals. I think we are going to see our first back-to-back-to-back defensive play of the game. I think Mitchie's going for it, man, for the 3rd time. I think he's getting it, and it will be well-deserved for Big Country, man. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Mitch has just been phenomenal, man. He has just been phenomenal on the glass. Honestly, when I tune in, there's really just like out of all the guys, there's just like two guys I can really lock in on who come off the bench, who give you that energy, who have been pretty consistent at it. Miles McBride, Mitchell Robinson, man. And Mitch has just been on a tear recently. The way that
Yeah.
he's performing on the glass, just dude, 13 boards in 27 minutes.
Right.
13 boards in 27 minutes. And once again, CP, he is being relied on because can't rely on Cat down the stretch. Mike Brown saying, hold on, we need to go defense, okay? We need to
Yeah.
go defense. We need a rim protector. And the way that Mitch was playing out there, man, you already know what it is, man. Getting the steals, Josh Hart leading, just getting through, right? Knocking the ball loose. Mitch right there to grab it, man.
Yeah.
Actually, the one thing I will say, I think Mitch's hands have gotten even better over the course of
Yo,
time, which is shocking,
he
man.
looks good. He's moving good. He's moving well. Looks good out there. Looks very spry defensively. Just looks to be he's in a groove right now. All right, let's get to the key stats of the night. And we'll get to it, man. Knicks shot 47% from the field, 40 for the Kings, 41% for the Knicks from downtown to 17 for the Kings. Kings shot 5 of 30 from downtown. Knicks did do a lot better. Here's an upgrade. Here's an improvement. They did a lot better from the charity stripe tonight. 16 of 18, 89%. And a stark difference from Saturday night's debacle. Both teams finished tied in the rebounding battle. You know, we gave Mitchell Robinson a lot of high marks, but Kings did battle there, and thought that allowed the Kings to kind of stay in this game where Sabonis, he kind of got a couple hustle offensive rebounds, and Chandler and those guys. So give credit to the Kings that kind of hung in there with the Knicks on the boards, even though the Knicks had their big rebounding trio in Mitch, Hart, and Cat out there. Kings still battled. Assist battle, Knicks won 24-18, so you had 24 assists on 37 made field goals for the Knicks. But here it is, the turnovers. 21 Knicks turnovers leading to 20 Kings points. And conversely, Kings turned the ball over 17 times, leading to 23 Knicks points. Points in the paint, Knicks lost that one, man, 42-34. And then largest lead of the night, 18 for the Knicks, 5 for the Kings. Knicks led this one by 81% of the time. Your thoughts?
This is not even for the Knicks. This is not even their stat. I'm looking at the 16.7% to be exact. And by that, that is a 3-point shooting percentage of the Sacramento Kings. And why am I bringing up that number? Why am I bringing up that number? This team barely won this game. And this team was abysmal from downtown, man. Abysmal. But yet they were able to stay in this thing. And this is just where, if this team is just so bad from shooting from downtown, and I told you, this team is dead last in three-pointer attempts, and 19th in percentage. They shoot about 35%. They were way below that, obviously, with this number. But yet the Knicks allowed them to stay in this game because of costly turnovers. So what I'm looking at here is the correlation of, like, if you played a cleaner game and if you focused on forcing this team to shoot even more threes, you could have had a better victory and could have had a good night, man. So I'm not really looking at anything from the Knicks' perspective outside of the turnovers that you mentioned. I'm looking at the Kings' 3-point shooting percentage because you could have leaned in tonight. They didn't have Zach LaVine. They didn't have anybody that could shoot a wide open three. Dennis Schroeder had so many wide open chance opportunities, missed them, clanked them, back iron. Like,
Yeah.
you got to take advantage, man. And I don't know where the scouting report is. This is where you're looking at Mike Brown, who, look, he comes from that San Antonio Spurs coaching tree of Greg Popovich. Where's that attention to detail saying, hey, these guys are awful at shooting at three? And we'll get the coach now. They are awful at shooting at three. Why are we not forcing them to shoot more threes? Why are we not walling off the paint and forcing these guys to their weakness? The Knicks just failed from top to bottom in that and created a tougher game than need be.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I'm going to go on the turnover side. Jalen Brunson did talk about the fact that they needed to be more focused tonight. I didn't think that was there. It wasn't like you're playing a team like the Pistons and the Denver Nuggets in a dogfight 2 minutes ago in Denver. Pistons up by 2. But it's not like you're playing a team like this that can force the turnovers out of your hands. The Knicks were literally just throwing it to the Kings and handing them the knife to stab them with. And so You gotta just be sharper, man. Attention to detail. You had 2 nights off. You came back up from the turnpike. It wasn't like you came back from out west. You had more than enough rest from that Philly game. You just got to lock in mentally. I thought they played down to the competition, if you will, in this game. And this is a team that embarrassed you just a short time ago. But either way, they got the job done. But they got to cut down on the turnovers. 7 turnovers for the dog OG Anunoby in this one. So hopefully they need to be a lot better because it's only going to get harder as the week goes on. You look at Toronto on Wednesday night. Toronto's going to look to get out in transition off of any of those turnovers. They want to play fast, and they will with the Knicks on tired legs. You got the Portland Trailblazers, another team that wants to get out and go, led by Denny. And then you end the week with Luka, LeBron in their home away from home where they want to do their best work. So Knicks are going to have to lock in as the week progresses.
Watching the Knicks play in the first 3 quarters make being a doctor look easy. Bro, yo, it's tough. Man. It is brutal, man. It is brutal. Like you watching these games and you just kind of like Mike Brown. Like the one thing that got me ticked off, man, was that non-challenge. Like, bro, what are you guys watching? Right? Like it's clearly off Ellis. The other thing too, man, is like they need a guard. They need a backup guard in that second unit because. I forgot the lineup they were running out there, man, but it was what was it? It was Deuce.
It's usually Deuce. It's usually Deuce. They had Deuce Hart. At times they had Shamet, and then likely either OG Mikal and then Towns.
Yeah, that's a brutal lineup, man. Because what you see is exactly what got us in the hole in those 9 out of 11 losses. You see the Knicks just standing around the 3-point perimeters, no penetration and kicking.
Right, and that's when Towns gets in his own way.
Exactly. So he's chucking up shots. He's doing whatever. And yeah. But this is now the second game you're seeing back to back where Cat doesn't close. You got Deuce and you got Mitch in the closing lineup. I don't know, man. This like I called in earlier on the previous show, right? There's 2 ways we can go. Either you swing for the fences and you go get Giannis, or you make those margin moves where it's kind of like, all right, pick up the Alvarado or the Misi, right? Because that's the needs right now. So I don't know. I'll take the win tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's a good test, right? We got the Raptors, but yeah, dude. I mean, OG, bro. I'm gonna say this before I leave. Yeah, OG. If he puts the ball on the floor, he's gonna turn it over. If he passes the ball, he's gonna turn it over. So the only thing OG can do is just shoot the ball on offense.